The Restoration Association of Florida presents Contractor Talk with Richie Kidwell and co-host Hans Kennon, the voice of Florida's restoration community, where Florida's restoration professionals come together to discuss the issues impacting our industry. From insurance claims to business growth, we bring you conversations with the contractors and industry leaders shaping Florida's future. This is Contractor Talk, the voice of Florida's restoration community.
It's so good to be back, especially in front of a live audience. What do you think, Hans?
Oh, so exactly. Something. It's nice to be back. When we did the live radio for about a year and a half, lost some of our fan base who gather outside the studio here. So it's nice to have them back.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they're just licking the glass at this point. So in excitement, of course. It's our second round of our. How we want to say the new way that we're launching our podcast and more of these bite-sized podcasts, as you coined the term last shoot. So we were on live radio. I love that fact. I'm going to have to get used to us not being on live radio again.
Yes.
And watching what I say and how I say it. But now we can be a little bit more open, a little bit more direct and right to the point. And I think that's what the whole reiteration here of our show is about, is when we're on live radio, it's 1 hour, right? Yep. And we're feeding the public at the same time as we are taking bite-sized shows out of that 1 hour. So now you'll start to see 20-minute podcasts come up, more bite-sized, more acute type of shows that are right on point. We're going to talk about. I have Carrie today. She's she's a fantastic roofer in the industry, and we'll pitch it over to her. What's going on, Carrie?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I'm so excited to be a part of the podcast. This is so cool. What made you guys switch over? I'm curious.
Just last month.
Well, what made us switch over was being able to, let's say one is our schedule, right?
Yes.
It's very difficult to be able to make that happen every single week, as we have done for years and years.
Oof,
and we were on a weekend show, and I think until your wife then put the hammer down and said, listen, we need to have some weekends together.
Yeah,
everybody.
I mean, because we were doing Saturdays from 12 to 2.
That's right, a 2 hour
which
show.
killed the entire, the whole day was gone, man. So.
Yeah. And so we are on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube as well, and this is where everything is going to start to be pushed, and that's through our YouTube page, through other ways of listening like iTunes and like Spotify. But think about if you're telling a friend to say, hey, listen to my show, and they say, okay, great, and you send in the link, it's a 1 hour show. I mean, versus,
hours a long time.
It's a long time. Unless you're driving to Miami, you're driving somewhere where you have hours to kill, or you're not going to listen to that full podcast. So, but if we put it on where it's very directed at that point and what we want to discuss, what a great topic is today, then and we're still ironing this out, right? We were just kind of talking about why we made the change over. And that is exactly for that point right there, is so we can drive home that point with our guest and be very specific in the industry. And we can put out more episodes, more topics within our podcast. So, so you're on our very beginning. I feel a little rusty. It's been about a month since we recorded. So if you feel a little rust in there, that's probably what it is. But
me and the Tin Man over here.
Got this little oil.
Shake it off.
Love it. Love it. And what a great way to get started with these series of podcasts than having our favorite roofer here on our show.
You said it.
We did.
You said it.
It's like the Superwoman effect here that we have.
Wonder Woman. Rewind. Yeah, rewind. Let's be clear about that.
And she's bound by the lasso of truth.
That's right. I have deemed myself the roofing Wonder Woman. But anyway, I'm Carrie Moreau from Certified Best Roofing, woman-owned, co-owned with my business partner, brother, who's been on the radio show in the past with you guys. And just so thankful that you guys have us back and care about what we have to say in this industry.
And what do you have to say about this industry?
Well, that's a broad question. That's a broad question.
It is a broad question. It's very broad. What's popping up for me most recently is how so many roofing companies are getting bought out by private equity firms, and the challenge that is to come up in competition with our pricing and our offerings against those companies, because they are just cranking roofs out like really fast. And, the price might be good for the homeowner, but, you don't know where you're going to stand long term with what they're providing. So that's something that's been coming around. It's a serious concern. I mean, I had a client just last week that had gotten 4 quotes, and she gave me the opportunity to review them for her, with her. And one of them, is a company that's operating with a private equity firm. They didn't disclose what kind of shingles they were using. They didn't disclose what kind of underlayment they were using.
Ooh.
And basically all of their information on their quote, which is also their contract, was like, we don't care if we if we damage anything on your property, we don't care. Like, we're not fixing it.
I always tell my clients there's nothing more expensive than a cheap roof.
Ain't that the truth? And, there is a difference between what the minimum is and what you should put on your roof in the state of Florida.
And the minimum is minimum, man.
It very is. It's
2 layers,
it's 2 layers of felt. Underneath your shingles. And what happens if you do have a shingle that's lifted or isn't installed correctly or overdriven in the nails? Either way, however it happens, that is not a protective shield or a water barrier as you would with peel and stick. So for instance,
well, what's funny is a couple of years ago when they passed the statute that required a double layer, like they made it sound like they were helping we always talk about the fact that none of these bills actually help the consumer when they pass. So you have to get double felt. I mean, that's like putting double Kleenex down.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't matter. And even
clog more.
I mean, and even
but also like, peel and stick, like that's the way, right? But there's such thing as dollar store peel and stick.
Yes.
So just because you're getting peel and stick doesn't mean you're getting something that isn't going to crack or cause problems, in 5 or 6 years. And, builder grade shingles are totally different, or even open bundles, because we know these big companies can buy all kinds of crap that's coming out of warehouses. Like, if they're not disclosing what they're giving you, but the price is good, like people right now, it's hitting their pocket. So like that low ball price is very, very enticing,
and that's
especially if they're like, and also on this quote, they were like, you don't have to pay us a penny till we're done. That's also another thing, because smaller companies like mine, we need a deposit.
Right.
You gotta order the material. You gotta get it
delivered
to the space.
One thing I learned about private equity is that they come in and they say, "We love what you're doing, love it. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing." And then they sell it, and the next day they start cutting commissions, cutting quality, cutting product, cutting staff, because it's just not true. I've seen it happen multiple times. They come in and they're just like, "Oh, we love your business model. Oh man, it's the greatest. We love how you treat your people." Then all of a sudden they start giving quotes like Carrie's looking at that suddenly don't tell you the brand of shingle, the brand of the underlayment, things like that are just huge red flags.
Right. And that's going to be the description of our show, right? I mean, red flags in roofing today, what to look for, how to choose the right roofer, especially as we're coming up to I would say the most the harshest time of our storm season. Storm season did effectively start in the beginning of June. We've seen some microbursts, but not the main, I'll call it the violence of the storm, or the more climatic area timing, where we're looking at, late August to beginning of October seems to be for us in Florida that time to where it's most important to have your roof secured before that happens or before that time comes up. So to Carrie's point is that, there are companies that are being taken over by private equity that are cutting corners. I've heard stories about them not replacing any flashing, or not trying to save money and just double layering the valleys and no flashing.
Yeah.
And it's fine for a couple of years until finally you get the drips inside, and maybe the warranty's over, or they're like there is no warranty. So
and the warranty on that proposal was I think 2 years.
Ooh.
2 years.
Ooh.
And that's when you're going to start seeing the leaks.
That's a just in time warranty. Just in time.
Just in time.
It's going to run out just in time.
And so many people don't think about that, especially if I'm just a lay citizen, so to speak, and I have somebody saying, knocking on my door and saying, your roof's 20 years old, is it going to make it through storm season? Actually, no, I do want a quote, and they come and give me a in my head, the best price quote, but it doesn't contain everything in there. That's the other thing too, is that the lowest one might not be the best, because the lower person comes in to get the job, to get their foot in the door, and then they're like, oh yeah, I didn't tell you that it was so much per linear foot to install the flashing.
Oh yeah,
that you need.
Absolutely.
It's like,
and then
it's like, what do you mean? I thought it came with it.
Right.
Or the wood replacement. They're gonna mark up. They're gonna do that old contractor move. Oh, we didn't know until we opened it up, which is totally true for our industry. We don't know how much rotten wood is there. We can get an idea if we have stains on the inside of the ceiling, or if the roof's a certain age, we can get an idea of how much wood replacement might be needed. But these companies don't talk about that at all. There was no wood replacement included, and their price for their wood install was definitely marked up for profit. So what they're not making on that, that quote up front, they're going to make up the difference on that wood replacement with those change orders when they've got they're already started work, they're already far into it, and then this homeowner they're going to end up spending the same amount they would have spent with me, but now they only have a 2-year warranty. They're, have this big wood bill that's going to be there at the end of the project. And if anything was damaged while those people were there, they even put in there that they wouldn't even cover if, because we're supposed to take care of the landscaping. When we're done, your landscaping should look the same. It shouldn't be like we killed all your plants, right? But they even had written in there like landscaping damage. So what that tells me is that in the past, they've had that happen. Yeah. Like, we don't have that in our contract. I don't even talk about landscaping because that's a moot point, because I'm not going to harm it. So they had even written in there, like, if we crack your driveway, if we crack a window. So that's like, okay, those are common things they must be damaging. And they're saying, we're not going to fix any of that, including your landscaping. And so like, if they put a dumpster on your yard and rut it up, nope, we're not covering that.
And so you have that issue, and Hans sees it all the time too, to where he's in a mediation, for instance, and we get to a point to where they are at settlement, and Hans' favorite or most famous line would be is that usually they start off with, the client has $500,000 of coverage in coverage A, right?
Right.
And you're looking at a $30,000 roof, right? But by the end of it, they're at $500. But for this is only worth this. My point is on that is that we've seen folks get underpaid, low paid, or not paid at all to fix their roof after a major event. And what you're left with then is, like what Carrie was mentioning, is that these private equity funded companies are coming out to try to get your business, and they will undercut everybody to get their foot in the door. You, an uninspected or unsuspecting homeowner, says, I only have a budget of, say, $10,000 on a $20,000 roof.
Right.
And so the red flags that we're talking about here today could add up to spending a lot more money to correct the issue, or just having a failed, faulty roof for the next several years. And as you know, Hans, insurance won't cover a faulty installation.
No, and they won't cover faulty workmanship, faulty product. And as Carrie's talking about with this mystery estimate without names of shingles, type of underlayment, all those things, you don't even know what you're going to get. You can put them in right, and they still won't work. I mean, this is something that is very common. And people, we all get it's a lot of money to replace a roof. It's an expensive thing, but it protects everything. Everything beneath it is worth more than the roof. The roof is actually a cheap part of the house in conjunction and in comparison to the rest of the home. All the drywall, all the flooring, all your possessions. It's really just a small percentage, and it provides the ultimate protection. It really does.
It does. And having the warranty there on both the product and the service is so important. Having it done right the first time is very important. So, Carrie, if somebody did want to get an estimate from you, and even if they've already had another estimate, how does that work for you? How do they get in contact with you in order to have Certified Best Roofing give them the best adequate estimate that they need for the roof?
Yeah, so they can go to our website, certifiedbestroofing.com. Or they can text us at 407-602-3363, or also call us there. All of our estimates are free. One of the features we have on our website is if a homeowner is curious about how much a roof replacement might cost, whether it's shingle, tile, metal, whatever structure it is, we have a feature called Quick Quote. So they can tap on that, click on that, put in their home address, and it will give them a quote in 60 seconds.
Wow.
It'll email
That's
it to
amazing.
their inbox, and then one of our reps will follow up to say, hey, did you get all the information you need? We're not a door knocking company. We're also not a storm chaser. So our whole business is built around transparency and quality. So we're here to be a resource, an advocate for homeowners to help them navigate the whole process. So we're not a high pressure sales tactic of, sign here, sign now. If we do find hail damage or something that's on your roof, you want an inspection like that, we're happy to provide a free roof inspection with everything documented. We also do free inspections if you have no damage and you want to document your home before storm season, because that's one of the things that these insurance companies, one of the tactics they're using is that, you probably had this damage XYZ date ago and you're outside of the time frame. So if we can document the damage, or we can document your roof as is now, and then if there is an event, you can see that, look, there was no damage here and now there's damage after this date. And it's really helping people to be able to present that information when they do have an issue that they have to file a claim. That service is also free of charge. Wow. We don't do assignment of benefits. We're not a company that does that. So we'll work with homeowners on a direction to pay contract. But even if we even are advocates of we don't need to be involved in your claim at all.
Mm-hmm. Just to be there to support. You can get That's right.
Support and provide information, because roofers make a lot more money when they're mixed up in your claim.
Yeah. Right.
And homeowners don't know that. And maybe there's some roofers out there that are like, stop, don't talk about that, Carrie. I'm like, well, I'm all about truth and transparency in roofing. So that's why, stand behind what I say as being the roofing Wonder Woman. We're going to give you that information up front so that you have everything you need. And what these roofers maybe aren't understanding is that majority of people that talk to me have already chat GPT'd or Clauded or used an AI to figure out what are the secrets behind this industry, right? So we need to be more transparent. We need to be more upfront. I mean, that's the way that our culture is going. Everybody wants clear information now. So we've been doing that for the last 5.5 years. So I feel like a lot of other people are late to doing that for homeowners. Yeah, but we've been doing the same thing for the last 5.5 years, almost 6.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail right on the head. In the state of Florida, they changed the law to now you have to make first notice within 12 months and have everything wrapped up within 18 months, as supplemental time will be barred at that point. So 1 year goes by really fast these days. And so it's important to have you document and support, just as you said, with your homeowner, and as frequent as annually every year. When I think about, okay, storm season is coming and it's between June and July, I've got a roofer already scheduled to come out, take a walk around, take photos, document everything. Any repairs, document the repairs, because that is good. Some people are saying, oh yeah, don't do repairs if you're going to file an insurance claim. No, absolutely do repairs. You're supposed to. That is your duty as the owner of your domicile, your home there, your biggest asset. And so Carrie made a great point. She is your roofer to come out to document whether you think you have damage or not. It's a great idea to get your roof documented prior to storm season. And that's great. We talked about the basic red flags. Watch out for quotes with not enough information on it. Watch out for door knockers that don't have the right information on there. I don't mind door knockers at all. Everybody's going to do their own way of providing business. But if you do, be ready, right? What was the data loss that came through this neighborhood? Let me see your insurance. Maybe I want to make sure it's active. I want some recommendations from others. Let me look at your online presence and see your reviews. Those types of things are very important, especially to homeowners these days. But outside of that, to ensure that everything is included in your estimate, so you don't get hornswoggled, right? You get the lowest price person in there with the worst warranty and the worst product. It's not the best for you at the end of it. So the folks that are listening today, I think what we want to gain from this is that even if you have an estimate, you want to get it compared, and you haven't put your roof on, you want to check apples and apples. You want to check the length of your service and product warranty, the materials that are put down, the quality of those materials, the quality of the workmanship that's going to go down, and make sure everything's included. All the flashing, anywhere the flashing is tucked in, and they have to make those repairs, to even damaging your landscaping, leaving nails everywhere around the house. Are those picked up? You have right property manager or a right manager for the roofing. I got you. And to ensure that everything is off the site, just like it was prior to the roof being replaced. I think it's super important for everybody to understand.
The crazy thing also that I saw just recently is a homeowner reached out to us for an inspection because they had a ton of wood rot. It's a tile house in Heathrow, right? Great neighborhood, ginormous, really big roof. And we get in there and we look at where all this rotten wood is, and it's actually because the house did not get any drip edge. It is a new roof that was put on less than 2 years ago.
Wow.
And there is no drip edge on the entire roof. And I asked myself, how is that possible?
How did it
this
pass
new roof
inspection?
permits.
Yeah.
How did it pass inspection? So, I mean, one of the things we see, one of the things I see, and this will happen on roofs that we install, is that the inspectors become familiar with the companies that they're inspecting the roofs on. And these are, city, county employees. They have a huge list of houses they have to finish, a quota for the day or whatever. And if they've seen no problems, like, let's use it if I'm the example. So the same inspector, we're doing a lot of jobs in a neighborhood or a lot of jobs in that specific area. Every time they come to one of our houses, everything is installed properly and it's like cleared the first time. They look at everything and it's clear. Well, maybe this one particular stop was at the last of the day, was like multiple houses they looked at for the same company, and this inspector just signed off without really looking. Because we all know that's code. You have to have drip edge. You cannot have a roof without drip edge. So how did it get through? And I'm just making up a story, right? Like, I don't know if this is what happened, but doesn't it seem kind of logical that could happen? As a human being, constantly checking on the same company, there's never an issue. Maybe you got to leave early that day. I don't know all the scenarios that come up with a human.
Right. But in the same,
I could see that if
they've
I was
left
in their
it open
shoes,
in one,
I might do that.
they're going to leave it open on another, right? So
Exactly.
Right. Way you do anything is way you do everything,
So, like,
and repeat that way.
How did it get through? How did the installers not, like, who decided that was okay?
Right.
Who
right.
at what point? But
so
the stop point, the catch point is supposed to be that inspector. That's supposed to be everybody's like catch point, and that's what we rely on. And then now this homeowner's having to go back and battle with this roofer because you know how much it's going to cost them to fix it?
A
lot.
Well,
they're not going to want to fix it.
And that's a good time for us to wrap up and to have you give your information on how to get a hold of you one last time, Carrie. So if somebody is dealing with a roofing nightmare, they know who to call and what website to visit.
Yes, so it's certifiedbestroofing.com or 407-602-3363. Our website has lots of resources. We also have a how to choose a roofer document on there that can help you go through all the steps. And if you want, you can run that through chat or AI and see if we told you the right things. But yeah, we're all about informing, no high sales pitch, and helping homeowners make sure that their property is protected.
Just a great amount of information from there. So definitely get with Carrie if you have questions regarding your roof. Here in Central Florida, does roofs all over the state of Florida, from my understanding, mostly, or in Central?
We do, yes. We go as high up as, or north as Jacksonville, high up. As north as Jacksonville, or down to Tampa. And then all of Central Florida. Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this information. Such great info to consume before we get into storm season. If you have a question on your roof, contact Carrie with Certified Best Roofing. And for us here on our show, this is our new bite-sized 20-minute shows or episodes rather for Contractor Talk with Richie Kidwell and Hans Kennon. So hope you enjoyed this episode and many more to come. Talk to you guys next show.